All right then, I think that should be all right. Cool. Okay, I've got the light on the top of the camera, the microphone beneath it. I hope this sounds okay, and I hope the shadows behind me aren't too annoying. I think they will be, but I do apologize for that. Get yourself a drink, coffee, tea, water, squash, juice, beer, champagne. If you've got that much money, go get yourself a drink. This could be a long one, and I've got a lot to say in today's video. And it all kind of comes round to what I've learned in the past 7 years. And I say 7 years, it's a bit of a random number. Why not 8? Why not 10? Why not 5? 7 years, because it was pretty much 7 years ago, roughly to the day, that I decided I wanted to start making YouTube videos. And I wanted to save some money to buy what was called a Hoppage HD PVR. Probably said that wrong. It was like a box that was about that big. You had some loads of thick colored cables that would go from the back of the box all the way around to the back of your TV in order to record your PlayStation or your Xbox. And I say it was exactly 7 years ago because I didn't even have a YouTube channel, but I was watching YouTube videos in the common room at school to get better at Call of Duty, because I was obsessed with Call of Duty. I used to take time off school, skiving, just to play. It's all coming out now, but it's true. And I had absolutely no idea at the time that it would ever become anything, and it would become my entire world to an essence. And recently, it's now November 2018, fast forward 7 years, and I'm wearing clothes that I bought with my own money. I'm sat on a couch that I bought with my own money in an apartment where I pay my own money that I'm earning myself, the rent and all the bills and everything that goes with that. And it's a little bit overwhelming and a little bit crazy at times to really take it all in, to actually live in the moment and not overthink things too much. And quite frankly, the latter part of what I've just said there is something that I've been doing relentlessly now for too long. And someone, I think it might have been Tilda, talking about imposter syndrome. And what imposter syndrome is, in a nutshell, is basically self-doubt, thinking you're a fraud, thinking you're not good enough, in an essence. And you start to belittle your abilities, you start to doubt yourself to an extreme level. And in social media and this whole world that has just exploded online over the past few years, I definitely feel like I have become a victim of that through my own doing, through myself. And at times, it makes me anxious when I'm on the street, which is something I've never experienced before. Like sometimes I'll be out and all of a sudden I just feel a bit weird. I don't know how to explain it because I've never really talked about stuff like this before to anyone, let alone a camera. And I just want to come home and sit at home playing Football Manager, where I feel comfortable and where I feel like my actions aren't being judged by anyone, where I feel like what I'm doing is fine because I'm the only one here judging myself. And if I'm happy sitting at home playing Football Manager, then great, cool. We'll deal with the issue of work and jobs and all of that stuff tomorrow. I've never felt things like that until the past few months, where I've been, as I said, doubting myself a lot, doubting my abilities, doubting what I'm capable of, doubting what I've already done in the past, putting it down to stuff like luck and just riding a wave. And it's so easy to get caught up in this if you're involved in the social media world. It's so easy to become swallowed by these vanity metrics, as my good friend Simon calls them, where we are obsessive as beings now with likes, followers, subscribers, comments, engagements. We are letting an algorithm dictate our life, in a nutshell. And I want to take it way back today because I didn't know if I wanted to make a video about this, whether I wanted to keep it to myself, whether I just wanted to have a discussion with my girlfriend or my family or my friends. And I feel like making a video will really help, because what I've learned over the past 7 years is not just relatable to other YouTubers or other people doing creative jobs. It's relatable to any of you who have ever been through like the social washing machine, I like to call it, that comes with doing something a bit different. Now, as I said, take it back 7 years to November 2011, where I was in the common room at school watching YouTube videos on my HTC. Couldn't watch it on the school computers because they had YouTube banned for some reason. And I was sat there watching Call of Duty videos. I was watching like how to get better at COD videos, because that's what I was into back then. I wanted to become really good at Call of Duty. And lo and behold, through watching videos, learning tips, learning tricks, I got better at the game. And then I started working as a cleaner. I was hoovering offices. I was mopping floors in bathrooms, kind of disgusting, but I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I used to do 2 hours an evening, Monday to Friday, after school, 5 till 7. And then on Friday, I would get a little wodge, and I say a little wodge, it really was, 3 £20 notes and a 10, sometimes a little bit extra, cash in hand. This cash was spent in co-op on Doritos, dip, sweets, chocolate, relentless, Monster energy drinks, to get me through the long weekend of sitting at home playing video games all day. And whatever money was left, I put into a little fund for myself to buy myself the HD PVR, to buy myself that recording device to get started with making YouTube videos. And back in the day, when I made my first video on December the 26th, I can't believe I'm saying back in the day. That in itself is a little bit scary and weird to think about. Posted my first video on Boxing Day 2011, and then there was about a week left, or just over a week left after the new year of the Christmas holidays at school. I was in my final year of A-levels. And when I got back to school, everyone, and I say everyone, I mean like 20, 30 people at school in the common room were like, "Oh, seeing your videos, George, it's a bit weird, don't you think? Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking to yourself and playing Call of Duty? It's a bit sad, you nerd. You're never going to get girls now, are you?" Huh, not that was like my priority or anything in life, but people just thought I was a bit of a knob. They thought I was a bit weird. That was cool. That actually motivated me more than anything to just do it more, because the whole reason I started skiving off school in the first place is because I thought it was better for me to sit at home playing Call of Duty than learning what I considered to be pointless subjects at school. I regret that a little bit now. I should have listened more at school. I definitely didn't try as hard as I could have done at school, but at the time it felt right. And at the time when people were, technically it was bullying to an extent, because if I didn't have a thick skin, I could have easily just been like, oh okay, people don't like what I'm doing, people think that what I'm doing is weird, so I'll stop, I'll give up. I love it, I think it's great, but because everyone thinks I'm a weirdo, I should probably stop in case I lose friends or any of this stuff. And luckily, I had a thicker skin, and I didn't allow these people to be imposters, bringing up that again, to my hobbies, to my passions. And at the time, sitting at home talking about Call of Duty was something I was really passionate about. So I just kept doing it. And if I could give any advice to any of you who, as we've seen on I'm a Celebrity this week, where 75% of young people want to become YouTubers when they're older, in 2011 that wasn't the case. It was still a very new thing. There wasn't as many KSIs and big YouTubers with millions of subscribers as there are now. So it was a weird, different thing to do. If anyone at school or at work or in your family is trying to tell you that what you're doing, just because it's not society's normal avenue, is weird, literally tell them to piss off. Their opinion is completely invalid. And I advise you to literally say that to their face, because I didn't necessarily do that. I just backhandedly did that. I just kept doing it. And then eventually, what happened for me was the same people that were saying that I was a weirdo, that I was an idiot for making these stupid Call of Duty videos, when I started to get a bit of recognition, when I started to get a few more views on my videos, they stopped getting like 100 views or 50 views, they're now getting like 10,000, 50,000, 250,000, sometimes even 1 million views in one video. The same people that were bullying me at school now want to be my best friend. They want to buy me a beer at the bar. They want to know how much money I'm making for a brand deal. They want to know how I managed to get free football boots from Nike. How have I managed to go on a shoot with Adidas, with Oscar? The same people that just wanted to put me down and use me doing something different as their fuel for their conversation. That petty, stupid conversation that really doesn't even matter. These are the same people that now want to know you again. And another thing that I've learned in the process of doing this whole thing is that as you start to gain a bit of popularity, there are so many people that will pretend to be interested in your life. They'll pretend to care about you as a person. They'll tend to want to be there for you when you've got an issue that you need someone to talk to. The only reason a lot of people do things like this is to get an inside information to carry on their gossip when they go to the pub and meet their real friends. And I've noticed that on so many levels, be it friends that I had at school, be it people that I've worked with in the past who, when you're going up and you've got something to offer them in terms of these vanity metrics that we talk about, they want to know you, they want to be your friend, and then all of a sudden, you get left on red. They start responding to your messages. People care about you a little bit less. And as I've grown up in the last 7 years, and as I've started to really value like real friendships and real conversations with people, actually looking into people's eyes and talking to people, since I've learned how valuable or invaluable that really is, I've seen right through all of these things about people wanting you for this and wanting you for that. Because quite frankly, so many people are out there just to get something from you and then stick you in the bin once they've achieved their goal, which was to gain something to increase their following. Because we've become so obsessed with these numbers that are just overtaking so many of our lives. And I think I had so many weird goals when I first started getting a little bit of popularity, I guess you could say, online. The main goal for me, and I remember talking about this in numerous Skype conversations with my good friend Jack, we talked about LA as being like the holy grail. If I can go to LA, if I can go to E3, the big convention where they release all the new games for the rest of the year and for the following 12 months, that for me was like the holy grail. If I could be on Venice Beach or going to Santa Monica Pier, then I've made it. I've like achieved everything I wanted to achieve. And that is great when you're like 18, 19 years old. Those kind of goals they're huge because it's something that you don't consider possible. And then when you make it possible because of your hard work, you are so delighted, so happy when you finally get there. And I had mini goals like this that as I started to achieve more of them, for example, hitting 1 million subscribers, once I did start to grow on YouTube, I really did become transfixed on that 1 million subscriber goal. When I hit that, again, it was kind of like a take this in moment. I was in LA again, I went back there a lot, I go there a lot, and I was sat there with a load of my YouTube friends, Master of, Mr. Dalek JD, Unknown Player 03, Benny Central. I hope I've not missed anyone off of that list. We were having the most incredible time, and I genuinely thought it didn't get any better than that. I genuinely thought that that was the peak for me at 21 years old. Completely forgot to slow the hell down, take in those memories, and actually understand that there never is an end goal. There is never a point where you can be so happy and so content with a single individual moment that you then don't want more, that you then don't want to experience something else. And in those moments when I was doing that in LA and I was spending a lot of money on expensive villas, on expensive trainers, on, you know, I don't know, very expensive meals out, it was at that point where I kind of realized that none of that really actually made me deep down in like my actual core. That didn't actually make me happy. It was a temporary feeling that as soon as I went to bed at night, it was like, okay, that's great, but am I really offering anything to anyone else here other than a bit of entertainment? Because I'm being stupid online. I got so burnt out with all of that stuff. Going to events, taking pictures of people, going to events, signing the back of phones, going to my old school and signing house diaries and getting an email from the head teacher saying that you're not allowed to write in house diaries, you knew that, it's graffiti, whatever. Those things are amazing, but what it taught me about life is that it's all well and good being young and having a following and having money in your pocket, having money on your account, but it all goes and disappears in a flash if you don't keep on top of how it affects you up here. Now, I'm certainly not saying that I've gone through any breakdowns. I certainly haven't gone through any breakdowns. Some people tend to look at me reading loads of books and putting loads of stuff on Instagram and changing my YouTube channel and stopping doing like funny content and starting doing like serious content. Some people consider that as like falling off the grid and getting a bit weird, and you know, I consider that to just be growing the hell up and coming to terms with the fact that it's okay to not have everything figured out all of the time. I'm just gonna get a drink. I keep itching my head, so I keep looking at the glass and not actually drinking anything. Not having everything figured out is all part and parcel of whatever the journey is. Like my journey and your journey, completely different things. But that learning curve on the way, those huge highs that seem to be huge at the time, no amount of money, no location in the world, no amount of people watching the video you make about it can satisfy your core. Like whatever you believe in is never going to be justified or satisfied by any number of people following. And I go right back to the start of this video where I talk about imposter syndrome and not feeling good enough, not feeling like your achievements have actually been valid, that it's all based around luck and that you can never actually do anything better with yourself again. I feel like so many people that I speak to, friends of mine, who get so caught up with Instagram photos not doing very well because of algorithms. I've experienced all of this and I've allowed it to engulf my life to a point where I've began to feel really down with myself because I was taking all of the dead YouTube channel and your videos are boring now comments to my heart. Like personally, I was actually looking at this as like a proper attack on me as an individual and forgetting that actually sticking true to your values, sticking true to your core and doing whatever the hell you want, because you're not trying to satisfy anyone else, you're just trying to satisfy yourself. That more than anything is the most valuable life lesson that I have learned in the past 7 years. And I hope this video has not been too much about like my journey and all of this stuff to do with me. I hope that some of this can resonate with you, however old you are, whether you're in school right now and you're actually trying to pursue a career where your parents are saying it's not worth it, or the battery just died. I hope we can pick this up straight away. Maybe you are a YouTuber or an aspiring YouTuber who you're getting so caught up on the amount of likes on your picture. You have read a couple of bad comments and you think that the whole world is now against you. It's okay to feel like that, but always remember that you're not doing whatever it is you're doing right now to please someone else. If you are, please don't, because I have tried to do things to please other people and it may get you somewhere in the short term, but it's never going to satisfy you enough in the long term to make it worth your while to drop any aspirations you actually have just to please someone else that isn't you. Yeah, I got caught off because my battery just completely died on me halfway through recording this video that I actually think was quite useful for me in particular to actually get some of these thoughts off my chest, to be fair, because you know, I've never got involved with drama. I have never been one to really jump on trends. I've jumped on a couple of them, but it's never really bothered me that much being like in the spotlight on purpose and trying to be in the spotlight. But it's something I'm seeing so much, and the fact that I've actually realized that it's affected me in a bad way, I don't want it to affect anyone else in the future as this whole internet world gets bigger and more desirable, I guess you can say, with people wanting to become YouTubers left, right and center now. I really, really hope that if you watch this video, you can realize and remember that it's not all about, you know, these numbers to make yourself look better and bigger in this grander scheme of living in 2018. It's do something that you love because you love it, not because you want other people around you and who may not know you and never meet you online to love it too. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. I think It's going to be about 20 minutes long or something, this video. I don't know how long the other clip was because I've not had a chance to see it yet because it's blimmin' dead cameras that we're dealing with. Dead batteries even. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I wanted to get this off my chest. I hope it's not been too deep. If it has, and you liked it and you want me to open up about stuff like this a lot more, then please let me know in the comments. If you have any of your own stories about the way you've been feeling, if you've been like feeling the pressure of this conformist social media society and it's affecting your mental health or affecting the way you're running your life, let me know in the comments. Or if you would rather not let me know in the comments, send me a little DM on Instagram. I often read my Instagram DMs just to like see what you guys are up to. And I will catch you very soon with another video. I'm not entirely sure what the video will be yet. That's another thing I'm kind of battling with, is like, what do I want to make and show the world, and at the same time still try and pay bills and make a living. It's an interesting one. I'm very lucky to be doing this for a job. I have never taken that for granted. I will never try and say that my life is harder than anyone else's. But at the same time, I'm also not going to belittle my actual feelings and emotions as a human being just because I happen to have a very fortunate job. But yeah, thank you guys for your time. I hope if you're still here, that coffee is now cold. Go make yourself a fresh one. I don't know how to wrap this video up. Let's just leave it. I'm going to walk out of the frame and say goodbye.